I get that Vince loves him some POV shots, but is anyone else distracted by the fact that this wooden floor is somehow made of glass for this shot? Creativity is fine, but common sense tells me this shot of him whitewashing this huge strawberry preserve spill from underneath is impossible. Also, I've never had to clean up human soup before, at least as far as you know. But wouldn't there be a smarter, systematic way to go about this than just sloshing it around from the middle out? Wouldn't it make more sense to work from the outside in? Jesse might panic and do it haphazardly, but definitely not Walt. This classroom is beautiful, but completely impractical as a classroom. I have an idea. Let's make the entire room an oval of windows so that no matter where the sun is in the sky, it will be glaring in our face, making it impossible to concentrate. Education!
Housing was only 0.25%.
What? That low? Seriously? Damn, I never would have thought that.
Really? Because you're a brilliant chemist studying at Caltech, and body composition is literally textbook high school science stuff. Maybe you didn't know it was exactly 0.25%, but there is 0% chance you're this surprised by it.
We are 0.111958% shy. Just seems like something's missing, doesn't it?
Is it 21 grams short? Because if Sean Penn walks into the room right now, I'm giving all the sins back. But I swear to God, if she says, "What about the soul?" I'm adding 15 more. Phew. Their plumbing must be goddamn magic. He just put a gun and bones in that bucket of people's soup. Even if he sifted it out before the gush flush, I have a hard time believing the pipes would handle this dump. Also, is flushing all this DNA down the toilet a good move? I understand we're early in Walter's crime life here, but even I know that bits and pieces of DNA will now be in the pipes leading to this house forever.
Oh, and, please don't say yo. You can't know how much I hate that.
That's yoist, and also likely racist.
Should you be up on that ladder?
Also, she shouldn't be breathing in paint fumes or picking wall colors because, wow, this nursery is hideous. I mean, unless you're going for baby green, and then you're spot on. Also, you ask this question while she's on the first step. The first step! After scraping the human goo, they blow up 2 kiddie pools, which they happen to have readily available, and then spray off the excess gore in order to, what exactly? Save the galoshes, gloves, and aprons for the next craft project? Why not use this downstairs toilet for dumping the melted corpse sludge? Clearly isn't as cared for as the upstairs toilet and probably doesn't see as much usage. If it clogs, it would be far less of an annoyance, and if it backs up, you won't horrify a guest with a floating rib bone. Also, why is this toilet? It's right at the foot of the stairs in the great wide open of the basement. Does Papa Pinkman seriously bring the newspaper down here every morning to make this entire space unusable?
One time he taught about carbon dioxide by making grape soda in class.
So many flavors to choose from, and Walt with grape. Walt is a bad teacher.
That partner of yours, he's got a big mouth.
True, but also, so do you. Isn't Jesse's slip of the tongue something that you could have used as leverage over him instead? Telling White this just gives him more reason to kill you, right?
Get off the toilet! Get off the toilet!
Show steals my morning routine pep speech when I'm trying to convince myself I've played enough Merge Dragons and can't feel my toes anymore.
We flipped a coin, okay? You and me. You and me. Coin flip is sacred.
Now is as good a time as any to mention how great these two are together, and how much better the show is for it. There's a lot to love about Breaking Bad, but what I love the most might be the chemistry.
She inferred it.
She inferred it, huh?
She strongly inferred it.
Well, I'm inferring by your use of the word here that you don't understand the difference between inferred and implied. Next thing you know, you'll say something happened on accident, and I will end you.
Tell him some horror stories. Maybe show him some autopsy pictures.
Are you trying to create a true crime fanatic? Because this is how you create a true crime fanatic. I'm not saying I've studied best practices in the world of theft, but I would assume that wearing a very obvious lab coat with a name badge prominently displayed on the collar is probably the first no-no. Also, screw people who can buy shoes off the display without issue. I have to ask for my size, and the same thing always happens. First, I decline having my feet measured, and then they tell me that everyone has a foot that is larger than the other, as if this is the first time I've heard such news. Then I say, so why don't you sell shoe sets with different sizes? And then as they pause to think about it, I offer up the knowledge that tits and balls also aren't the same size. Finally, I'm left alone to try on my shoes in peace. On an unrelated note, did you know Foot Locker has a permanently banned list?
I thought we were going to Cold Stone Creamery.
Yeah, well, a little detour. Figure we'll come over here and check out how the other half lives. This here is what we call the Crystal Palace.
This scene went to the Vince Gilligan school of going on for some time. Seriously, I love me some atmosphere, but I didn't need 5 full minutes of what is essentially a glorified character joke.
Who the hell was that?
It was the 2 major characters from the show just happened to be in the same place at the same time cliche. That's it. I appreciate what Walter is doing here, but aren't all these things the same? Murder is wrong, it's the moral thing to do, and Judeo-Christian principles are just different ways of saying murder bad. Did you you really need a piece of paper to suss that out? Also, you are not a murderer is not a pro or con. It's literally the thing you are deciding. If you kill him, you are. If you don't, you aren't. It would be like me making a pro-con list for whether I should watch a movie, and the first con is you don't watch movies. What? This is the third time this toilet has played a role in this episode, and I think it's a sin it didn't get its name in the opening credits for the yeoman's work it's putting in. Heads up, Tussophobians. This episode has more coffin than an overstocked funeral home. Am I really going to send these plate pieces looking nothing like the pieces the plate broke into a second ago? Yes, because when you're sending a Breaking Bad haystack, spotting mismatched plate pieces is like a goddamn needle. But this bloody chip, you don't get to be lovingly scooped.
If this line of work doesn't suit you, get out before it's too late.
These two have been talking for the past 10 minutes, and I'm transfixed. Cranston is astonishing. Dialogue is meaningful and nuanced, and you can feel the tension leading somewhere. And Crazy 8 saying get out before it's too late is another reminder that this show was designed to break your heart from the very start. The fact that they had the gonads to actually go for it is worth another cent off. But then again, how dare you purposely hurt me, Vince? Shame on you.
I'm so sorry.
Ah, jump scare, he's alive! Sorry. I had to break up this incredibly tragic, dramatic tension. This is legit tear-jerking, and I don't like feelings.
Smells like a Dracar Noir factory in here.
Dracar Noir.
Hello, Zippy.
Why go through the trouble of gloving one hand and not the other? And why hold evidence with the hand that could leave prints? How would he have this view straight down the highway when he clearly parked over the median?
What about the soul?
Well,
What you need to take care of are the really messy parts. The pools of blood that I've collected, you gotta soak that up.
It made me more serious.
Why so serious?
Damn, this morning has some chili.
God damn, the water's cold.
Better you than me. Hey, look at me. Hey, turn around and look at me.
I'm the captain now.
Coin flip is sacred.
You've been putting it up your whole life. You just didn't know it.
Harry, are you in there?
Be right out!
But you know that anybody in my situation will make promises like that.
So I can clearly not choose the wine in front of me.
Truly, you have a dizzying intellect.
Don't let shopping strain your brain, no.
Triple income.
We'll make you smile.
Wendy, I'm home.